There's a moment in every relationship that changes everything. A moment where you realize that no amount of attraction, effort, or even love itself can fill the void if something deeper is missing. Because what men truly crave isn't just passion or excitement. It's connection. A connection that makes him feel grounded, safe, and deeply understood. It's that feeling he gets when you listen without judgment, when he's allowed to be vulnerable without fearing he'll be seen as weak. It's the quiet reassurance when you believe in him, even when he's doubting himself. Or the way you encourage him to rise higher, not by pushing, but by showing you see the strength in him that he's forgotten. These moments don't just happen by chance. They're created by women who know how to speak to a man's heart. Women who understand that true intimacy isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. Because when a man feels that, when he feels seen, respected, and valued, that's when something powerful happens. That's when walls come down. That's when he feels safe enough to lean in, to open up, to trust you with the parts of himself he's never shown anyone else. Have you ever had a moment like that? When you felt a man connect with you in a way that words couldn't describe? If so, I'd love to hear your story, because your experience could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. 1. Feeling respected. For a man, respect isn't optional, it's essential. It's not just a preference, it's the foundation that shapes how he sees himself, how he feels about you, and ultimately, how deeply he commits to the relationship. Men may not always say it, but they feel it. Respect isn't something they occasionally crave, it's something they need every single day. Without it, no amount of love, attraction, or affection can fill the void. Think about it. Have you ever seen a man's entire presence shift when he feels respected? His shoulders straighten, his eyes focus, and his energy becomes more grounded. It's as if something primal inside him switches on, something powerful, unstoppable, and deeply connected to his sense of purpose. That's because, for men, respect isn't just about admiration, it's about identity. It's the silent force that drives his decisions, fuels his ambition, and unlocks his emotional devotion. When he feels respected, he feels safe to show his best self. But when he feels disrespected, when his efforts go unnoticed, his ideas are criticized, or his presence feels undervalued, something inside him shuts down. He withdraws. He stops trying. He questions himself. And eventually, he questions the relationship. What most women don't realize is that respect isn't just about praising their achievements. In fact, the moments when a man needs respect the most are often the moments when he's struggling, when he's doubting himself, feeling lost, or battling pressure he doesn't know how to express. In those moments, your belief in him carries more power than you could imagine. Because when a man feels like you still admire him, even when he's not at his best, that's when he falls the hardest. That's when he feels emotionally safe with you. And that's when he starts to see you as the woman he never wants to lose. The truth is, that respect is built in the small moments, the ones most people overlook. Imagine this. He's been stressed all week, exhausted, mentally drained. Yet, instead of relaxing, he takes the time to fix something around the house, something you asked him to do days ago. He's tired, but he does it because he wants to make your life easier. Now, you have a choice. You can ignore it, or worse, say something like, "Finally." Or you can pause, look him in the eye, and say 6 simple words that will make him feel unstoppable. "I love how you handle things." That's it. No speech, no explanation, just those 6 words. But what he hears is something far more powerful. "I see you. I trust you. I believe in you." Moments like this stick with him. Because for a man, respect isn't just about words. It's about feeling seen, valued, and appreciated for who he is, not just what he achieves. It's about knowing that even when he stumbles, the woman he loves still believes in him. And when a man feels that, something shifts inside him. He feels stronger. He steps up more. He starts to associate you with his best self. And that's what makes him emotionally addicted to you. But here's where many women go wrong. They assume respect has to be earned, that a man should only be admired when he's done something impressive. But that's the mistake. The truth is that respect should start before the achievement, not after. Because when you show a man that you believe in his potential, when you admire the man he's becoming, not just the man he is today, you activate something powerful inside him. You become the person who fuels his ambition, the one who makes him feel like he can conquer the world, and he will never forget that. The key is learning how to show respect in a way that strengthens your voice, not silences it. Respect doesn't mean agreeing with everything he says. It doesn't mean never challenging him. Real respect is about how you express yourself, even when you disagree. Instead of saying, "That's a terrible idea," try, "I see where you're coming from, but I have a different thought. Can I share it?" Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard, right? Now, can we talk about this?" Instead of snapping with, "You should have done this sooner," try saying, "I really appreciate you handling this. Thank you for stepping up." See the difference? You're still being honest, but now you're speaking to his heart instead of his pride. When a man feels respected, he feels trusted. And when he feels trusted, he wants to rise, not because you pushed him, but because you believed in him. And that belief, it's powerful. It's the invisible force that shapes how deeply he connects with you. Because when a man feels like his presence matters, when he knows that his effort, his ideas, and his actions are valued, he doesn't just feel close to you, he feels addicted to you. Now, if you're wondering how to make this practical, here's what you need to know. The moments when a man feels respected the most aren't always when he's at his best. It's easy to admire him when he's winning. But if you want to build a connection that's unshakable, a connection that keeps him emotionally committed, respect him when he's doubting himself. Respect him when he's frustrated. Respect him when he's trying and failing. Because in those moments, your belief in him carries the most power. When you see him stressed, overwhelmed by life, resist the urge to criticize or control. Instead, offer reassurance. Say, "I know things are hard right now, but I believe in you." Or when he's unsure about a decision, don't cut him down. Instead, try, "I trust you to figure this out. You've always had great judgment." These moments seem small, but for him, they mean everything. Because when a man feels like the woman he loves trusts him, even when he's unsure of himself, he doesn't just love her. He feels bound to her. So ask yourself, have you ever seen a man change when he feels deeply respected? Have you noticed how his energy shifts? How he suddenly seems stronger, calmer, and more certain of himself? That's no accident. That's what happens when respect activates his deepest sense of purpose. And when a man feels that from you, something powerful happens. He starts to see you differently. You're no longer just someone he's attracted to. You're someone he needs. Someone he can't imagine living without. Because when you respect a man, when you see his strength before he even sees it himself, you don't just win his love. You win his heart, his trust, and his unshakable devotion. And once you have that, no other woman can replace you. 2. Emotional safety. Men are not as fearless as they seem. Beneath the calm, collected, and confident exterior, there's a hidden world of doubt, pressure, and fear that most men will never speak about. Not because they don't feel it, but because they've been taught they shouldn't. From the time they are boys, men are conditioned to believe that showing vulnerability is a sign of weakness, They're told to man up, to keep it together, to be strong no matter what. Society has convinced men that being emotional makes them less masculine, and so they learn to build walls. They suppress their feelings, hide their insecurities, and refuse to expose the parts of themselves that feel fragile. But here's what no one tells you. Behind every strong man is a heart that desperately craves emotional safety. He's never going to say it outright, but he's searching for it. He's looking for a place where he doesn't have to pretend. A place where he can take off the mask, drop his guard, and finally breathe. When a man finds that, when he feels emotionally safe with you, something powerful happens. He stops holding back. He opens up in ways he never has before. He starts trusting you with the parts of himself that no one else has ever seen. His fears, his insecurities, his struggles. And when that happens, you unlock something stronger than love. You create a connection so rare, so powerful, that no other woman can compare. But here's the problem. Most women miss the signs. They think they're creating emotional safety, but without realizing it, they're actually making a man feel even more guarded. It happens in small, subtle ways. When he's quiet and you push him to just talk about it. When he shares something personal, you interrupt with advice before he's finished. When he opens up about his struggles, you respond by minimizing them. Oh, that's not such a big deal. What he hears in those moments isn't love. It's judgment. It's pressure. And it makes him feel like he was right to keep those feelings locked away. That's why emotional safety isn't about what you say. It's about what he feels. If a man senses that his feelings will be dismissed, criticized, or used against him later, he won't just stop sharing. He'll stop trusting you altogether. He may still care, but he'll keep his guard up. He'll smile, laugh, and go through the motions, but the real him will stay hidden. But when you create emotional safety, when you make him feel that no matter what he shares, no matter how messy or complicated his emotions are, you will hold space for him, everything changes. He starts leaning in. He starts craving your presence. He starts associating you with the one thing every man secretly longs for: relief. Relief from the pressure to always have it figured out. Relief from the weight of expectations. Relief from the fear that no one truly understands him. And when a man feels that kind of relief around you, when he feels like you are the one person who accepts him fully, he doesn't just fall in love with you. He becomes emotionally addicted to you. But how do you create that? How do you become that safe space for him? It's simpler than you think, but it requires something most women overlook. Stop trying to fix him. Men don't always want solutions. They want to be heard. They want to know that if they expose their doubts, their mistakes, or their fears, they won't be met with judgment or pressure. They'll be met with acceptance. So the next time he's quiet, don't push him. Let him know you're there, but give him space to come to you when he's ready. When he finally opens up, resist the urge to solve it. Don't say, "You should do this," or "Here's what you need to fix." Instead, say something simple yet powerful like, "That sounds hard. I'm here for you." Or, "I can't imagine how that feels, but I'm so glad you told me." Words like these don't just comfort him, they disarm him. They make him feel like he can let go of the weight he's been carrying. They make him feel like he's safe with you. But here's the secret most people miss. Emotional safety isn't just about how you respond when he's hurting. It's about how you respond when he's angry, frustrated, or lost. Because those are the moments when men feel the most vulnerable. When a man lashes out, when he's short-tempered, withdrawn, or even cold, he's not just being difficult. He's battling emotions he doesn't know how to process. He's protecting himself the only way he knows how, by pushing people away. And in those moments, the most powerful thing you can do is not react. Instead of matching his frustration with your own, hold your ground. Stay calm. Say something like, "I know you're upset, but I'm not going anywhere. When you're ready to talk, I'm here." That sentence alone can break down walls that have been built for years, because what you're really telling him is this: I see you. I know you're struggling, and I'm not afraid of your mess. That's emotional safety, knowing that no matter how complicated his emotions are, you won't run. Knowing that even when he's hard to love, you'll stay steady. And when a man feels that, when he feels like he can be fully himself without fear of judgment, you become his peace. You become the person he turns to when life feels too heavy. And that's what creates an emotional bond that no one else can replace. So, ask yourself this: have you ever seen a man change when he finally felt safe enough to open up? Have you noticed how his energy softens, how his guard comes down, how he suddenly feels closer than ever before? That's no accident. That's the power of emotional safety. And if you create that, if you become the woman who makes him feel like he can finally stop pretending, finally stop performing, and finally stop running, you'll have his trust, his devotion, and his heart in a way that no other woman ever could. Because emotional safety isn't just powerful, it's unbreakable. 3. Feeling desired. There's a silent fear most men carry, a fear they'll never admit. It's not about failure, rejection, or even loss. It's the fear of feeling unwanted. Because here's what no one tells you: behind every man's strength, ambition, and drive is a powerful hidden need to feel desired, not just appreciated, not just tolerated, but truly wanted, craved, chosen. Men may not talk about it, but they feel it. And when a man senses that the woman he loves isn't drawn to him, when he feels like she's just there, going through the motions, something inside him starts to die. His energy fades. His passion disappears. And without even realizing it, he starts pulling away. This is why some men, even in loving relationships, start to seem distant or distracted. It's not always because they've lost interest. Sometimes it's because they've stopped feeling wanted. But here's the truth. The women who keep men obsessed aren't the ones who are the most beautiful, the most charming, or the most perfect. They're the ones who know how to ignite a man's most powerful emotional craving, the need to feel desired. Because when a man feels wanted, when he feels like you crave him not because you're supposed to, but because you can't help it, he becomes addicted to you. So how do you create that feeling? How do you make a man feel so deeply desired that he can't imagine life without you? It's simpler than you think. But most women get it wrong. The mistake many women make is believing that men only crave attention in the beginning. They flirt, they tease, they playfully challenge him, and he's hooked. But as time goes on, that spark fades. Life gets busy, conversations feel routine, the thrill, gone. But here's the truth. A man's need to feel desired doesn't disappear once you're together. It grows. The men who stay deeply committed, the ones who can't stop thinking about their partner, are the ones who feel like their woman still wants them just as much as she did at the start. And that's where the power lies, in making him feel desired not just once, but over and over again. So how do you do it? How do you awaken that craving inside him, the one that makes him feel unstoppable? It's not about chasing him. It's not about giving too much too soon. The secret lies in one word: mystery. Desire thrives in anticipation, in the feeling that something powerful is just out of reach. It's the way you leave him wondering, what's she thinking? Or, is she feeling this too? That uncertainty, that thrilling sense of not knowing, is what keeps him coming back for more. Think about it. Have you ever had a man seem deeply interested at first, only to lose that excitement once he felt like he had you? That's not because he lost feelings. It's because the mystery vanished. So here's what you need to know. Creating desire isn't about playing games. It's about knowing how to keep him guessing. The key is balance. Showing him just enough to keep him hooked, but never giving everything away at once. For example, instead of constantly affirming your feelings, say something subtle but powerful. I can't stop thinking about last night. And then leave it at that. Let his mind fill in the blanks. Let him wonder. Let him crave more. Or when you're out together, lean in just a little closer when you laugh. Brush your fingers against his arm, then pull away. Give him just a glimpse of your desire, and then leave him wanting more. But here's where most women get it wrong. They either give too little or too much. Some women hold back too much, playing hard to get to the point where a man isn't even sure if she's interested. Others over-pursue, constantly texting, constantly reassuring, constantly proving their feelings. Both kill desire, because men don't want to chase someone who feels impossible to reach, but they also don't want to feel like they never have to try. The sweet spot is in the tension, the space between I want you and I need you to come closer. This is what creates a powerful emotional addiction, a feeling that's stronger than lust, deeper than infatuation, and more unforgettable than attraction alone. But here's where it gets even more powerful. A man doesn't just want to feel desired in the beginning. He wants to feel desired throughout the entire relationship. In fact, one of the biggest reasons men lose passion in long-term relationships isn't because they stop loving their partner. It's because they stop feeling wanted. Over time, they start to feel like they're just there, like their presence is expected but not exciting. And when that happens, they stop showing up emotionally. That's why the women who keep men obsessed understand one simple truth. Desire doesn't die. It's starved. But you can reignite it, even if the spark feels long gone. Here's how. First, surprise him. Spontaneity triggers excitement. Send him a flirty message in the middle of the day. Whisper something unexpected in his ear when you're out together. Walk up behind him and kiss him for no reason at all. Second, break the routine. Predictability kills passion. Change things up. Plan a date he wouldn't expect. Try something new together, or even just wear something different that makes you feel confident. Lastly, express desire on your terms. Don't just wait for him to make the first move. Show him that you want him, that you crave him. Not because you're supposed to, but because you can't help it. Tell him, I love the way you make me feel safe, or I can't stop thinking about how amazing you looked this morning. Moments like these, small, powerful, and unexpected, create a magnetic pull he can't resist. Because when a man feels like you desire him, not just his presence, but his mind, his energy, his strength, he stops questioning. He stops doubting. He stops wondering if you're still into him. Instead, he feels powerful, unstoppable, addicted to you in a way he can't explain. And that's the secret. The key isn't just loving him. It's making him feel like the man you choose every single day. Because when a man feels desired, he doesn't just fall for you. He falls hard. And once you ignite that craving in him, it's nearly impossible for him to let go. 4. Inspiring. Growth. Every man has two versions of himself. The man he is today, and the man he wants to become. That second version, the stronger, wiser, more powerful version of himself, it's the version he dreams of, the one he's constantly chasing. But here's the truth. No one tells you. A man's greatest growth doesn't happen alone. It happens when he's with a woman who believes in him, even when he doesn't believe in himself. Because when a man meets a woman who sees his potential, who sees more in him than what he sees in himself, something powerful happens. He doesn't just fall in love. He becomes addicted to her. Why? Because she becomes his catalyst for growth, his greatest inspiration. The person who makes him feel like no goal is too big, and no challenge is too overwhelming. And when a man feels that, when he feels like the woman he loves is helping him unlock his best self, he won't just cherish you. He'll become unstoppable in his devotion to you. But here's the part most women miss. Inspiring a man's growth isn't about pushing him. It's about believing in him. Because when a man feels like you trust his journey, when he feels like you respect his pace, that's when he rises. That's when he taps into the strength he didn't know he had. But if you pressure him, if you constantly correct him, question him, or remind him of how far he still has to go, you'll do the exact opposite. Instead of feeling inspired, he'll feel controlled. Instead of feeling motivated, he'll feel defeated. And eventually, he'll start to shut down. That's why the key to inspiring his growth is this: encourage his progress, not just his success. A man doesn't just need praise when he wins. He needs belief when he's struggling. He needs to know that even when he's doubting himself, you still see his strength. So what does that look like in real life? Imagine this. He's been talking about starting a new business. It's risky. He's excited, but also nervous. He's doubting himself, and part of him is thinking about giving up. Now here's where your words carry massive power. If you say something like, "Are you sure this is a good idea?" You've just added to his self-doubt. You've confirmed his fear that maybe he's not capable. But if you say instead, "I know this isn't easy, but I believe in you. I've seen how hard you work, and I know you'll figure this out." You've just given him something far more powerful than advice. You've given him belief. And that belief? It's fuel. It's the invisible force that makes him keep going when he's tired, overwhelmed, or unsure of himself. It's what makes him push harder, climb higher, and fight longer, because now he's not just doing it for himself. He's doing it for you. Because when a man feels like you believe in his potential, like you see greatness in him even before he sees it in himself, he becomes emotionally addicted to your presence. But here's where it gets even deeper. Most women think inspiring a man's growth means giving endless compliments. But that's not true. A man doesn't just want to feel admired. He wants to feel challenged. Because here's the truth. Men respect the woman who pushes them to grow. The one who isn't afraid to say, "You're better than this," or "I know you can do more." But here's the key. It's all about how you challenge him. Challenge him in a way that makes him feel powerful, not weak. Instead of saying, "You're not doing enough," say, "I know you're capable of more, and I believe in you." Instead of saying, "Why haven't you figured this out yet?" say, "I know you're still working through this, but I trust you'll get there." Because when you frame your challenge as belief, not criticism, you're giving him exactly what he craves. The feeling that you see him not just as he is, but as the man he's becoming. And when you become the woman who helps a man see his strength, the woman who makes him believe that his dreams are possible, you become unforgettable. Because here's the truth, most people never understand. A man will move mountains for the woman who makes him feel like a king. He'll push harder, fight stronger, and stay committed, not because you forced him, but because your belief in him made him believe in himself. And here's the most powerful part. When a man feels inspired to grow because of you, his love deepens in a way that's nearly impossible to break. Because now, when he thinks about his success, when he looks back at the wins, the victories, and the milestones, you're part of that story. You're not just someone he loves, you're someone who changed his life. And when a man feels that, when he feels like his best self exists because of you, his attachment becomes unshakable. So, ask yourself, have you ever seen the fire in a man's eyes when he feels unstoppable? Have you witnessed the way he carries himself when he believes he's on the right path? That's no accident. That's the power of a woman who inspires his growth. And if you can become that woman, if you can tap into his potential in a way that makes him feel strong, confident, and capable, you won't just win his heart. You'll win his loyalty, his devotion, his soul. Because when a man feels like his life is better because of you, when he feels like you're the reason he's becoming the man he's always wanted to be, he won't just want you, he'll need you. And once you've created that feeling, there's no other woman who can replace you. 5. Positive energy men are drawn to something far more powerful than beauty, charm, or even love itself. What truly captivates a man, what keeps him emotionally addicted and unable to imagine life without you, is the energy you bring into his life. Positive energy isn't just a pleasant quality. It's magnetic, unforgettable, and powerful beyond words. It's the invisible force that determines whether a man feels energized in your presence or emotionally drained. And that feeling, it's what makes a man crave you. Not just today, not just when things are new and exciting, but for the long haul. Most women underestimate just how deeply men are affected by the energy they experience when they're around you. They assume that love alone is enough to keep a man hooked, but the truth is that love fades fast if your presence starts to feel heavy, tense, or negative. Men may seem strong on the outside, but beneath that calm exterior, they carry stress, self-doubt, and pressure they rarely talk about. When he's with you, he's not just looking for romance, he's looking for relief. He's searching for a space where he can finally breathe, a place where the tension melts away and life feels lighter, calmer, and easier. And when a man finds that kind of energy in a woman who brings peace, warmth, and positivity into his life, he feels addicted to her presence. Because suddenly, being with you doesn't feel like one more thing he has to manage. It feels like home. Positive energy starts with presence. There's something magnetic about a woman who knows how to be fully there. When you give him your attention, your undivided, focused, and intentional presence, it creates a feeling he can't ignore. In a world filled with distractions, where everyone's glued to their phones, your ability to be present feels rare, and rare things are valuable. When you're with him, show him that you're with him. Look him in the eyes when he's talking. Listen like his words matter, and resist the urge to constantly check your phone. Because when you're present, you're sending a powerful message without saying a word. You matter to me. And when a man feels like he has your full attention, he won't just feel wanted, he'll feel valued. And that feeling is addictive. But presence alone isn't enough. Positive energy is also about your ability to bring joy, to take the stress he's carrying and turn it into something lighter. Men are drawn to women who know how to create laughter in unexpected moments. When life feels heavy, they crave someone who knows how to laugh at the chaos instead of drowning in it. That doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means refusing to let those problems control the mood. If he's struggling to fix something at home, tease him instead of criticizing him. If your dinner date gets delayed, turn it into an impromptu adventure. If something goes wrong, find the humor in it instead of feeding the frustration. Because when you show a man that you can face challenges with playfulness instead of panic, you become the person he wants to be around, not just the person he loves. Gratitude is another powerful piece of this puzzle. Men crave appreciation more than they'll ever admit, not because they're insecure or needy, but because their deepest instinct is to provide. When a man feels like his efforts are noticed, like his presence makes your life better, he feels proud. He feels capable. He feels like he's winning with you. And when a man feels like he's winning, he wants to keep playing. So don't just thank him for the big things. Celebrate the small moments too. When he surprises you with coffee, When he fixes something around the house, when he makes a decision that eases your stress, notice it. Say something simple but powerful like, "I love how you always know what I need," or "I really appreciate the way you take care of things." These moments may seem small, but for a man, they're everything. Because when he feels like his presence adds value to your life, he doesn't just feel respected, he feels needed. And when a man feels needed, his devotion to you deepens in ways you can't imagine. But here's the part most people miss. Positive energy isn't just about what you do when things are good. It's about how you respond when things are hard. Because those are the moments when your energy matters most. If he's having a bad day, if he's stressed, frustrated, or overwhelmed, he doesn't need you to fix it. He doesn't need you to cheer him up with endless advice. He needs to feel like you're his calm. Instead of adding pressure, you create space. Instead of demanding answers, you offer comfort. Instead of reacting with frustration, you respond with warmth. Say something simple yet powerful like, "I know today's been hard, but I'm proud of how you're handling it." Or, "I know you're dealing with a lot right now, but I believe in you." Because when a man feels like your presence eases his stress instead of adding to it, when he feels like being around you makes him feel lighter instead of heavier, he won't just enjoy your presence. He'll crave it. And that craving, it's powerful. It's the feeling that keeps his mind coming back to you even when you're not around. It's what makes him feel like you're not just his partner, you're his peace. But here's the most powerful truth of all. Positive energy doesn't just make him love you more, it makes him love himself more when he's with you. When a man feels like you see his best self, when your energy makes him feel stronger, more capable, and more confident, he becomes addicted to the version of himself that he experiences around you. And that's what keeps him loyal, devoted, and emotionally connected in a way that's nearly impossible to break. So ask yourself this. When he's with you, does he feel lighter or heavier? Does he leave your presence feeling calm and energized, or drained and distracted? Because the truth is, men are drawn to the woman who makes life feel better. Not perfect, but better. The one who brings calm in the chaos, joy in the ordinary, and warmth in the silence. And once you become that, once your energy becomes the one thing that makes him feel like his world is lighter, he won't just want you, he'll need you. Because you'll be more than someone he loves. You'll be someone he can't imagine living without. In every relationship, there's a powerful truth that often gets overlooked. A truth that separates fleeting attraction from deep, lasting connection. What men crave, far more than physical beauty or temporary excitement, is the emotional experience they have when they're with you. They're drawn to the feeling of being respected, the comfort of emotional safety, the thrill of being desired, the strength they gain from your belief in their growth, and the warmth of your positive energy. When you create these feelings, when a man feels truly seen, valued, and inspired by your presence, something powerful happens. He doesn't just feel attracted to you, he feels addicted to you. Because now, you're not just someone he's drawn to, you're someone who makes him feel more alive, more confident, and more connected than he's ever felt before. But remember this, these moments don't happen by accident. They are created by women who understand the power of presence, the strength of belief, and the impact of emotional connection. When you become that woman, the one who helps him see his best self, you unlock a level of devotion and loyalty that no other woman can replace. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment when a man's energy shifted because he felt truly seen, respected, or desired? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today.